Good afternoon, everybody. We're now into the automotive part of the WorldDAB General Assembly. I'm going to be talking about the European Electronic Communications Code and the impact it's having on DAB+ in cars. So let's take a step back. In 2018, there were 15 million new cars sold across Europe, and 1/3 of those had DAB+. And if we look at the first half of 2020, obviously total car sales were down quite significantly, but over 50% had DAB+. So quite a lot of progress just in the last 18 months. And if we look at individual countries, we can see Norway, Switzerland, UK, Italy, all have over 90% of new cars have digital radio as standard. And then we have a second tier, Belgium, France, Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, where we can see that a significant proportion of new cars come with DAB+. And the thing that is going to drive further change is the European Electronic Communications Code, the EECC. And basically, this was a directive that was introduced in December 2018 and requires that from the 21st of December of this year, all new car radios sold in the EU must be able to receive digital terrestrial radio. And the thing that's particularly interesting about this is that it applies to all EU member states, both those that have established DAB+ markets and those that are yet to launch national services. So where are we in terms of the national law? So what happens with the EU directive? It needs to be transposed into national legislation. And what we see here is that 7 countries have already introduced national laws. Germany, UK, and Italy, really the big three of the big 4 largest car markets in Europe, as well as Hungary, Greece, Cyprus, and Malta. And collectively, those 7 countries account for 51% of European car sales. So that's where we are already. The question is, well, what about the other countries? So I'm just focusing here on the top 12. So these are countries that are selling about 250,000, at least 250,000 new cars in 2019. So we have a traffic light system, and you'll see from that. So we have 3 of the major countries have already passed legislation. Good news is that we don't have any red lights. The process is underway in France, Spain, Poland, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, Austria, and the Czech Republic. Consultations have been taking place in these countries. Parliamentary processes are underway. I think if I was going to summarize it, I mean, it's quite difficult to know exactly what's going to happen in individual markets. You know, if you ask one person, you'd say, yes, we're definitely on track. The other people say, well, it's less clear. So I think I would summarize the situation by saying that COVID-related delays are possible, but critically, there's no major issues. So it's really a matter of getting the laws passed. Another major stakeholder group in this, of course, is the car makers themselves. And their primary concern is less about the EECC itself. It's actually making sure that the wording of laws, national laws, is consistent across markets. So conclusions, very brief. Germany, UK, Italy have already passed legislation. Number 2, in other markets, consultations are taking place, but there's no major concerns. And our view is that by the end of 2021, the vast majority of new cars in Europe will have DAB+ as standard. Thank you very much for listening.